water somewhere, got the blue sky breeze, and it don't seem fair, only worrying the
When did we shoot this video?
I think I could have brought you my family vacation.
Wow.
Video would have been
Yeah, the late 80s at Lake Powell were amazing.
on a houseboat, baby.
So good news, Lake Powell. There's a lot of water flowing into it because of the big winter we had in terms of precipitation. In fact, we are seeing reports that Lake Powell, think about this, wrap your mind around this.
Yeah.
And we're going to confirm it in a second, hopefully. That Lake Powell, the size of that reservoir, is rising a foot a day.
Yeah, this is really impressive. And we thought about this. We thought, wow, this is so neat. So this is talking about Arizona, California, Nevada rely heavily on the reservoir for water supply, of course. Marlon Duke with the U.S. Bureau of Reclamation, specifically the Upper Colorado region, joins us on the phone this morning with more on this. So,
Hi, Marlon.
Yeah, good morning.
Thank you for being here. Appreciate it. So first of all, can you confirm that 1 foot a day figure? That seems amazing.
That is amazing, and I'm happy to confirm it.
Ooh.
Wow.
These are the kind of years that we really we really wait for and hope for across this basin. The years when Mother Nature is extra generous.
So the surface size of Lake Powell, I mean, can you put it in perspective for us? How much water that is flowing into Powell every day?
Well, if you can imagine, I mean, as far as surface size, the lake stretches about 200 miles from Glen Canyon Dam north. If you count all the canyons that the water fills, that's about 2,000 miles of shoreline. So that's a lot of water. It's coming up. Right now, today, we've got about 78,000 cubic feet per second flowing into Lake Powell. Now, imagine that a cubic foot is hard to imagine, but it's about the size of a basketball. So if you imagine 78,000 basketballs per second flowing past you into Lake Powell, that's how much water we're taking into the reservoir right now.
That is impressive. So we know, of course, this has to do with snowmelt. Where specifically do we know this water is coming from?
So this water is all coming from the upper basin in the Colorado River system, which are the states of Colorado, Utah, Wyoming, and New Mexico, where we've had a tremendous snowpack this year. Up in the Rocky Mountains, we just had storm after storm, especially into the spring, followed by rain in May, and that really did great things for our snowpack. We ended the year, we peaked the year at about 143% of average up here.
Oh, that's great. So, we go into, the water goes into Powell, then it flows down eventually into Lake Mead, correct? And then eventually down into Lake Havasu. And that's where, at least the Phoenix area, don't we pump our Colorado River water basically out of Lake Havasu here to the valley?
You get a lot of your water from that system. You know, I'm not sure where exactly those pumping stations are, but all of this water that's being stored in Lake Powell benefits Arizona, California, Nevada, and those lower basin cities because it allows us to provide a constant release into Lake Mead. This year, we're going to be releasing 9 million acre-feet of water from Lake Powell to Lake Mead. That's the 5th year in a row that we've released 9 million acre-feet. And you know, contrast that with 2018, which was one of the absolutely worst years on record for our snowpack and our inflow. At this time in 2018, we only had 7,000 cubic feet per second flowing into Lake Powell.
Wow, so it's
now
10 times.
Yeah, that is so impressive. So how far are we here from normal levels? Will we still see that kind of that ring around, you know, the lake?
Yeah, you know, people ask me all the time, especially in a year like this, is the drought over? When are we going to get back to normal? In 2000, which is when we think this drought started, Lake Mead and Lake Powell were pretty close to full. And over the last 19 or 20 years, you know, we've seen these declines. That's one, a testament of the value of these reservoirs. They've allowed us to weather this drought and really blunted the effects so that we can maintain our water supply. And, you know, but two, if we're going to get back to normal, we really need several years in a row like this to fill these reservoirs back up. I don't think the drought's over until we get the reservoirs back to where they were at the beginning.
Marlon, thank you so much for talking with us this morning. We are happy to hear that Powell is rising and some of that water will eventually make its way here to Arizona and, of course, California, Nevada. Thank you for talking with us.
Keep
up the great work.
Thanks.
Have a great day. And good news for all those houseboaters. Maybe you're heading out, lots of water for family to cruise through.
And we have to be better, too. The state just recently signed that new water pact. We have to be better stewards of those lakes. You know, we've got to use that water wisely or else we're just continue to drain them down. All right, we will be right back.